Hello and welcome to HMS 200 Professional Ethics. I'm the course instructor, Professor Oscar Sida, and I'd like to take you on a quick overview of your course for the spring semester. So we kind of have a clear understanding of course expectations and kind of clarify any assignments or answer some questions that are common to the course. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and then we'll go into the Canvas course, and we can take a quick trip together. So bear with me here. So here's from my view. I know you guys see the course a little bit different, and I've tried to lay the course out very logically, very kind of user-friendly. I remember taking online courses and being very frustrated the way things were laid out. So the course syllabus is here. There's a lot of information that you have some assignments to review that. And then it's all broken down week by week on what's due, and you can see it all up until the end. So you can kind of see yourself getting closer to that goal. I've tried to sparse the the workload out to something that's manageable. So it's you have I have the assignments are open. So if you want to work a little bit ahead, that's fine. They don't if they're not specifically, you have an entire week to get the material done, so you can kind of plan your week ahead when it's convenient for you to do it. That's the beauty of online education, is that it allows more people to participate that have different schedules, live in different geographic locations. And I think still providing a quality education is possible, and in some ways it's better. I remember my years at university where we had to drive there and be raining or whatever, cold or really hot because I live in Vegas, and trying to find parking, and there's construction and all kinds of things that kind of throw up barriers. But online education helps eliminate a lot of those issues, and also makes it more affordable from that perspective, because you don't have to have using transportation costs and things like that. But if you see here, the first week I don't have anything due, because sometimes folks have trouble getting their hands on the text. So then you've got that whole extra weeks, like 2 weeks, so you can get your hands on the text, and then the assignments begin there. But let's take a quick look at the resource review. That's part of one of the assignments here. And I want to show you that it's on the Pages tab here. It's got a lot of good information that I think is really important for us to understand. We've got some instructions on APA style. If you're not familiar with that, you will be. And it's the American Psychological Association style for research journals, articles, the interviews, and things like that. And what it does is provides a overview and also detailed instructions on how you're to submit assignments. And that's the format that I want you to submit your writing assignments in. And to varying degrees, you have different kinds of assignments. So the research papers will be like that. We have research paper. I don't know if that was eliminated from this course. Yeah, there's an article review here. And I think sometimes as a student being introduced to this information, you're not sure exactly why we do that. Like what is the purpose of that? And to help inform and clarify, it's so that folks doing research, they put it in these specific formats, so you can find the information. So it's organized with abstracts and keywords and running headers. So when you're looking through tons and tons of documents for the kind of research that you need to help validate your own research or add information to it, of the body of research that's available to scholars, you're able to find it quickly, digest what you need, and then kind of incorporate that into your own work. And as students, I want to introduce you to writing that style, because as you progress in your academic career and then onto your professional careers, you're going to want to one, have a very high standard for writing and communicating that's cogent, that's professional, that that lets the folks you're communicating with, that you're educated on the topic, that you understand, and are submitting work that is at a very high standard. And so then you're also exposed to research articles and information, so you know how to kind of look through the information quickly. And so this is kind of a learning process, and it can be frustrating at first. I remember when I was at university and college, it frustrated because I didn't really understand why I was doing it. So I wanted to kind of right that wrong, so you understand what the expectation is and why. And there's a logical reason behind it. So these resources are available there. It looks like they're duplicated. I'll try to clean those up. And also there's we have a slide stack for every chapter in the text. And so you have an opportunity to kind of look through. These are put together by the publisher, but I think it's a good review for the information, because you're not just reading the information like you would a novel. You have to read your text, reread it, highlight things, and because the idea is that you're able to not only read, understand, digest, and then incorporate that into your own understanding, and then use it and apply it. So this is our degrees are applied degrees, because if they're not just reviewing research and studying this information, we expect our students upon graduation to be able to apply that in the field. So we get started pretty early, and it's really important that students understand the importance of why we not only expect them to study the material, but to be able to recall it, and then utilize it when appropriate. So we have various tactics, and one of those is quizzes, chapter reviews, and then exams and the like. The other thing I have in this course is the discussion post. If you look, there are discussions, I think, for every chapter. And what I've noticed is that a lot of times students don't like participating in the discussions, but they like to read them. People learn in different ways. They have a different approach. Some folks are very active and very expressive, and other folks are more kind of reserved. And I would say I kind of fall into both of those columns. Sometimes I want to engage. And so I've tried to give you the opportunity. And the way I did that, this is kind of an experiment this semester, before I made, so the chapter discussions are worth 1 point. So if you decide to opt out of them, I'm okay with that. The way I look at it, a discussion, I imagine if you are in a live class with me and we had students, 35 students in the course, is everybody going to give me a response? No. The folks who have interest or have a question are going to. So they're worth very few points. I try to make it 0 points, but the system didn't like that. So it's 1 point. So it's negligible. But this way it gives you an opportunity to participate to the degree that you like, and then not. Now, not all discussion posts are worth 1 point. Some who I believe are really important, that everybody has a firm understanding of the information. I've made those worth more points. So in chapter 6, discussion worth 20 points. Chapter 8 is worth 60. That's a big one. I want to do that one. But the other ones are kind of these negligible 1 point things. The other assignments that we have, in addition to kind of traditional quizzes, discussions, and chapter reviews, are the Human Services Symposiums. And those will be a webinar format. Dr. Wentz Munoz, my colleague in Human Services, he'll be providing 2 lectures, one on the 16th and then one on April 27th, so March 16th. And I'll kind of explain this because there's a little confusion about that. And I gave it the name symposium because from the Greek tradition of philosophers and learned men gathering together to discuss politics, philosophy, and life. And it's a way for us to gather in our education community to discuss topics that are important, that I think are general and apply to all students in our programs and our courses, even if they're not human service majors. Because I know, looking over the roster, a lot of folks are in different programs: sonography, radiology, graphics communications, And then of course we have the human services folks, we have social work, and the like, and some not even in kind of in the professional fields or the helping fields. There's some people that are in science and things like that. You might just have an interest in ethics, or maybe part of your degree program, and that's great. We're glad to have everyone, because ethics is such a huge part of our lives, whether you're a professional clinician or you're just a consumer of professional services, which we all are. Understanding why certain rules are in place, the importance of those. I think overall people understand that, but if we don't provide detailed information, instructions, and expectations, individuals are left to fill those gaps on their own. That can come from their own life experience, the environment they're in. You might, let's say, go into a professional work setting that has very poorly regulated ethical policies, procedures, and standards. And so then you are in this environment, you're new to the profession. This happened to me when I worked at the hospital, and I'm seeing all these things happening that I know are wrong. But because everyone else is going along with it, I think, oh, okay, it must be okay. Well, a couple of years after I left that hospital, it was shut down by the state because they had a number of violations, from JCO to HIPAA, all these different compliance agencies that ensure the safety, security of patient care were being violated from a variety of different reasons. In some instances, they had unlicensed folks providing clinical services and things like that. Their staff ratios were off, all kinds of things. And those things all go into running healthy and safe agencies that provide the services that we're there to do. But, that can quickly turn around if leadership is amiss and not really paying attention to what's going on, because these agencies also are there to make money too. So those two things kind of compete sometimes. But I'm so glad this is part of your educational program, and I'm able to provide some information, what I think is in a useful format that is interesting, but also gives a good overall understanding that hopefully you can take into your professional lives. So the symposiums, getting back to, I'm getting off track, they're in a webinar format. So the presenter will be on screen like I am right now, presenting information. And these are required assignments for all the human services course. That's the way we get good participation. And they are held live on the date and time. And you might be saying, oh, I work at that time, or I've got, other commitments at that time. That's fine. So if you can come, you come to the webinar. We'll give you a passcode. At the end of the event, I'll give you a passcode like Strawberry Sunday, and you'll put that passcode in this assignment to confirm that you attended the live event. If you can't come, that's okay too. We will upload the recording to YouTube, and then we'll put the link here. And then those folks who didn't come, remember the event takes place on March 16th, but the due date is not till March 27th. That gives those folks time to watch the video. It takes a day or two to get the video uploaded. If you ever edit something in YouTube, it takes a while to render. So usually it's up a day or two after the event. And then I'll put the link here, and then you can watch it at your leisure and submit a summary, a 2 to 3 page summary of the event. Kind of what you saw, what your some of the information presented, just kind of an overall summary. That way you get to participate regardless of whether you're able to come live or attend, synchronously through reviewing the video. I'd like to include everybody, and so I'm trying to make it is available to all of our students, keeping in mind, the kind of somewhat limitations that we have. So we've got 2 of those, and I think it's always, I get a lot of good feedback, and it's also a way for us to stay connected, for you guys to know your professors, to, kind of for us to be able to share information outside of an online format, kind of in a live lecture series. And I've been doing this since I got here, and it's always been a great experience for me as an instructor, and also a way for me to connect with my students in another way. So there's those 2. The other thing for the human services majors or those folks interested in our majors, I know not everybody is a human service major, is that we have an open advising that I'll put in the announcements, and you can come and ask questions about your program, about how you're progressing through that, which courses you should take, questions you have about career paths, licensure, and the professional fields that I'm familiar with, which would be mental health, substance abuse, and the like. And also how these degree programs can lead to bachelor's programs, which we have a human service bachelor's program as well, or to doctoral or master's level programs if you're interested in going on from there. The great thing about the way our human services programs are set up, we have certificates, which are 30 credits, associates were 60, and the bachelor's, which were 120. So you're just kind of building on those, so you don't have to kind of go back and redo anything. And I think it provides a nice progression for folks that are interested and they're not sure how far they want to go. But then what I've noticed is people get they like the topic, they enjoy the coursework, and they can see themselves in that professional role. The other thing we'll have later in the semester is practicum orientation for those folks that are majors in our programs. You are required to do a certain amount of hours, depending upon which program you're in. And those hours are in service at a human services agency or government agency or school or hospital, depends upon where you find placement at. And orientation will help prepare you for that. So aside from that, I want to again welcome everybody to the spring semester. I hope you guys are off to a good start. I want you to feel free to reach out to me. I'm open, available. You can call me, you can text me, you can email me. Canvas is best for messages, but of course you can use my GBC email that's on the syllabus, and my contact information is on the syllabus. If you call me or text me, please let me know who you are, and also what course you're calling about, because sometimes students will just say their name or just start talking thinking I know who they are, and I haven't always had a face-to-face conversation with a lot of you, and there's new students. So just keep that in mind. That way it's easier for me to get back to you and to answer your questions and concerns. I think that's it right now. There is a midterm and final exam in this course, and that will basically be composed of the chapters, and they're cumulative. So, and there's instructions there. You can look at those things. And if you have any questions after you've had time to kind of go over the material and get ready to ramp up for the semester, give me a call if you have questions, or send me a message if you have concerns about something, so I can clarify it for you. But other than that, I hope this is a helpful video for you, and then you're off to a great semester. So I'll see you